Afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Ocean's Pit. Little show about big things. It's nice to be back, folks. It's Wednesday, the 13th of November, and we have my good friend and fellow co-host today, my good funny man Matt Cassane is with us, folks. It's Ocean's Pit, little show about big things, Monday through Friday at noon. Check the website, TonyOceanMusic.com, and give us a call at 847-769-8609 to book a show. Every show is dedicated to the first responders, but mostly it's dedicated to people like you who take the time and watch the show. I want to thank you all. I'm sorry yesterday we were off. We took yesterday off because it's my mom's 85th birthday party. Actually, my mother's birthday is today, the actual birthday. But because I've got a big gig coming up in the afternoon, I couldn't spend any time with her. So we spent the time with her yesterday. All day with her, took her around shopping stuff. We ended up at the New Star restaurant, Chinese restaurant in Elmwood Park. We went to Massa for some nice ice cream afterwards. So we spent the whole day with Mama C celebrating her 85th. That's why we weren't live yesterday, folks. Also want to thank my guest Friday, funny man Mike Marino, funny guy from New York originally, from Florida. He's going to be at the Arcada Theater he's going to be at the Des Plaines Theater this Saturday night. Mike Marino, funny man. He was our guest there, folks. All right, so a lot to talk about, but before we do that, it's introduction time. So let's go. Showtime. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Dina Manzella from Seventh Heaven on that one, folks. It's a great day. Matt Cassane, my co-host. Matt, how you doing, pal?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being on, buddy. We go back a long way, my friend. Do you remember the first time we met?
I don't remember the exact first time, but I know me and my cousin came out to see you guys, the Dream Police, playing at a club. I'm not sure where, and then we all went out for breakfast afterwards. And
yeah, and there it was. Ever since, the Dream Police, Cheap Trick. Of course, we did our tribute to that. It's go back a long way, brother. And we're still doing what we're doing. We're watching Ocean's Pit, little show about big things. Funny man, Matt Cassane is with us. But before we get to with Matt, let's get to some sponsors, folks. Number one is Ace Hardware. Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local. Supporting our good friends from our neighborhoods, Ace Hardware. Okay, U-Haul rentals at they got U-Haul rentals at all their locations. They're here for your moving needs, personal, business, small loads. They have you covered. Let's not forget, take advantage of their auto key programming at all their stores. They program in car cut keys up to 50% less than the dealership. Visit the Helpful Hub to speak to a certified team member. That's our good friends from Ace Hardware. Ace is the place. Norwich, Des Plaines, Evergreen Park, Warrenville, Mesa, Arizona. And now they're opening a brand new one again, going back to the original location on Harlem Avenue. They're breaking some brick over there, breaking ground, as they say, and probably in the spring. So, guys, let's thank our good friends from Ace Hardware. Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. Our good friends from Ace. One more sponsor, of course, and that's Mary Grievous for all your real estate needs. The perfect real estate professional, whether you're putting your home on the market or looking for your dream home, give her a call today. She's available to buyers, sellers, for sale by owners, expired listings, Berkshire Hathaway, Stark, or real estate. Give Mary a call at 630-688-1725 or go to mgrievous at starkre.com. And if you're talking about Mary Grievous with real estate, you have to talk about Mary Grievous with NTD Vacations. And of course, that is the company that she owns with Richie from Seventh Heaven. And when you talk about NTD Vacations, you're talking about the Chicago Music Cruise 2025. It's going to happen, folks, sailing to Aruba, Carousel, Coco Key, Bahamas, and Fort Lauderdale, March 22nd to March March 30th, 2025. Royal Caribbean Oasis of the Seas, 8 days on that wonderful ship during spring break. And of course, Hillbilly Rock Stars will be there. The Jersey Girls, Mojo's Jukebox, Tony Ocean, the main event band, Scott Childers from WLS, Wendy Thompson with her tribute to Britney Spears, Frankie Hollywood, Boom Boom Rodriguez, and of course, Seventh Heaven, all 7 days. So here's what you do. You go to ChicagoMusicCruise.com, you put in Tony Ocean, or give Mary a call at 630-688-1725 and say, I want to go on the cruise with Ocean. I want to be on Ocean with the Ocean. So that's going to be a lot of fun. March 22nd to March 30th, 2025. Matt Cassane is watching, folks. Busy day, busy week. We got Matt coming up tonight. One time and one time only. Tivoli Theater in Downers Grove. We'll be there to Ocean's Rat Pack tonight with Rick Lindy and the Jukebox Legends. It's a 1,000-seater. It's a beautiful theater. If you've ever been down Downers Grove, that show is tonight. Doors open at 6 o'clock. Showtime is 7 o'clock. Ocean's Pit will kick it off. Ocean's Rat Pack will kick it off. And then Rick Lindy will come on afterwards. We might do something at the end together. But that's going to be tonight at the Tivoli Theater. If you come on out, tickets are available at the door. If not, you can go to Chicago Classic Cinema /Legends tonight. It's going to be a great show. Tomorrow we'll be at Are We Live in Burr Ridge with Jerry Jams. Friday, Chicago Prime Steakhouse with Daryl Armenstadt. Saturday, we'll be at Ron Onesti's Club Arcada Speakeasy with the main event band, Danny Ramundi, Tony Toto, and Jerry Jams. And Sunday, we'll be at Tavern on the Point in Edison Park with my good friend, Frankie Seta. So there'll be a lot of fun. Matt Cassane is with us. Matt, hope you're doing well, pal. What have you been up to, Matt? What's going on?
Oh, just chugging along here, trying to make a buck.
Yeah, I know. Make a buck. That's what it's all about, folks. I just got to say again, if Regina Karma's watching, Regina, thank you for the flowers you sent my mom on her birthday to Villaggio. You are a sweetheart. Thank you so much. Erica's watching. Derek, there's Dick Sayed, the alderman from Des Plaines. Jerry James, Kathy Eppolito's watching. We got California in the house. We got Iowa. We got, hey, Franny, how are you doing? We got Ohio. Good. Nice little crowd, little people here for a nice little fun here for our Wednesday show. Tomorrow, Ocean will be my co-host, of course, and she has a special announcement, guys. You're not going to want to miss this. A very special announcement from Laura Ocean tomorrow on Ocean's Pit. So make sure you guys tune in. All right, Matt, for people that don't know Matt Cassane, how many years have you been in comedy, Matt? How many years have you been acting and in comedy?
Oh, my gosh. If you include college, a long time. Way too long. Way too long.
Way too long. But what keeps you, Matt, what keeps you in there? What keeps you going with it? A lot of people could have said, hey, fuck it. I did some things. What keeps you going?
Rick, I think our buddy Rick Nielsen said it best. I'm too stupid to quit.
Yeah, you know what? I guess once it's in you, it's very hard to say, hey, I'm going to go and turn around and do something else. And you've been doing it. First of all, you started as a stand-up comic. So you were doing stuff. Who were you looking up to back then? Who was one of your idols when you first started?
Well, actually, I got out of college, and the first thing I did was sign up for classes at Second City because I wanted to be on Saturday Night Live or SCTV and all that stuff. Yeah. So, and they teach you to adapt to your environment right on stage because it could change at any second. Improvisational comedy and theater is a lot different than structured theater where you have a dialogue and a script. With improv, it's kind of made up right on the spot, and then you do skits. And then if something good comes out of the improv, they write it and they rewrite it and they make a skit out of it. But it trained me to adapt to any situation. So if somebody calls me these days and they're like, Matt, we need you to work at a trade show. I did this trade show, a welding trade show last year, and they had me come out and do Trump, and they were handing out these hats, make welding great again. So I got out there and it's just hanging out in the trade show booth, at the
That's all right, buddy.
At the McCormick place, and I got the hat on, and I had the whole costume on too, but I was just calling people over. It's great to be here at the welding convention. I'm having a blast. Lots of nice people. Come on over and say hi. Take a picture with the Donald. This welding convention is going to be huge, huge.
And you've been doing, and I know you're also, I know been doing Trump for a long time, and I know you're doing Chris Farley and stuff like that.
Yeah.
With the election now, with Donald Trump, president of the United States right now, taking office in January. When you were doing Trump, coming in and doing Trump at different parties, what was your reaction before the election? Let's go say you have some company hired to do Trump 4 years ago. How did that come out? I mean, did you get a lot of positive vibes there, or there's still some people that giving you the daggers?
But you always, I never know what I'm going to run into when I do Trump. They're either going to hug me or give me the finger.
Yeah.
So that's just the way it is. But when I was at this specific convention last summer, it went very well. People were really enjoying it, and they were coming over, and a lot of people actually recognized me from my appearances on TV, on your show, all over the place. And they were shouting out, "Hey, don't you live in a van down by the river?"
Yeah. Okay. So they know you're the guy that does the same. You do Chris Farley as well, which is very cool, man. Yeah. So I can understand, but you know what? Let's think about it. Well, it would be the same thing if you were an impersonator and you did Obama when Obama became president for the very first time, and he went out and spoke. Some people didn't like him either, right? So I mean, it's say you did Clinton. Would the women be giving you the finger if you came out doing Bill Clinton, or holding a cigar? I mean, so it's a little crazy. We got some people. Erica said that she's frozen, that she can't see us. I don't know. We're not frozen on our side, Erica, so I don't know what to tell you there. Felix Greco, I want to wish you a happy birthday, buddy, but I know your father just passed away too, so that's got to be very difficult, having a birthday and your dad dying in 2 days back to back. So, Felix, I'm so sorry again to you and your family. There's Rick Lindy watching. You can see us tonight live at the Tivoli Theater in Downers Grove. Doors open at 6, 7 o'clock. Showtime kicks off with Ocean's Rat Pack. And then Rick Lindy and the Jukebox Legends. There's Pete Prato. Talking about Matt Cassane. Matt, so also Chris Farley. You've been a fan of Chris Farley for years. How old was he when Chris died?
Oh man, I think Chris was 33 years old. He was quite young, and that's the sad thing, man. Just these guys. They're you talk about that song. Remember that song, "Shooting Star"?
Yeah.
Don't you know you're a shooting star? And these young guys, they live a short life, and they blaze, and they make everybody happy, and then when they're gone, they make everybody sad. It's unfortunate.
Well, you look at that. How old was he again? 20. How old was he? 20 what? When he died?
Chris was 33.
Okay, 33. So he's older. But remember the one to 26 with Janis Joplin and Jim
27,
Morrison.
27, the 27 club. The 27
Yeah,
club.
the 27 club. So, but still 33 years old. Funny, man. What do you think Chris Farley would be doing right now if he was still alive?
The same stuff. He'd be making movies, doing TV appearances, and just being Chris. I mean, he'd still be out there. They probably would have made a movie. As a matter of fact, I know they would have made a movie about the Chicago Bears skit on SNL.
Yeah.
They had a script all written, and it was ready to go. And it was written by Bob Odenkirk and Robert Smigel, who were very big writers on SNL and then became actors and stuff. And Bob Odenkirk's a big time actor now. But these guys already had it written. They were ready to go. They had Farley in it, and he was a big star at the time. So they were ready to make that movie. And then Farley unfortunately passed away, and the film kind of like got shelved. I think Chris would have just been making great movies. He probably would have made a Matt Foley. There he is. There's Matt Foley. He probably would have made a Matt Foley movie,
Yeah. Instead of just one little character, just like the Blues Brothers did, just like Dan Aykroyd did with the Coneheads, and they made movies from the little sketches that they had on Saturday Night Live. Yeah. You've got something that you're doing with Saturday Night Live. Something. What's up going on with that, Matt? Explain to people there's a movie coming out or something that's out right now that has something to do with.
Yeah,
Chris Farley. What's up with that?
I worked on a movie last spring in Atlanta called it was originally called SNL 1975, and there was a small little tiny part for about maybe 30 seconds in the film where all the future characters after 1975 are all walking down Broadway right outside of Saturday Night Live, right outside of NBC. And Lorne Michaels comes out and he sees his future. He sees all these people walking. Now, from what I understand, the movie came out in October, like a month ago, and they're saying that it bombed because the first weekend it came out, it finished in seventh place, and it only made $9 million. So unfortunately, it didn't do too well in the theaters. But yesterday, it came out streaming, so they're hoping that it'll catch fire in the streaming. And unfortunately, the scene that I was in, it got cut.
Oh man, you know what? We'll see, but that's what happens when when actors and stuff make movies and make an appearance. Sometimes that stuff does happen.
Yeah, and I talked to Chris because Chris and I still talk. He's in the afterlife,
Sure.
And I was like, Chris, what do you think of this whole thing where they cut the scene out of the film, the scene that you were in? I was doing you in the scene, and he got back to me, and this is what he said. Hold on a second. Hold on.
Chris Farley, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Farley explaining the movie Saturday Night Live.
I think the guys that cut that scene out of the movie aren't going to amount to jack squat.
You are a funny man, Matt Hussein. I'm telling you, doing this stuff for what he does. Matt, let's talk about. I had Mike Marino on last Friday. A great, funny comic. He sold out the Des Plaines Theater. He's going to do it again on this coming up Saturday. Talking about Jerry Seinfeld saying the future of comedy with B movies is coming to an end because of all these politically correct crap. Do you believe in that too?
I'm not sure exactly what Jerry said, so I can't, talk about it too much. But it sounds to me like, there is a lot of pressure on comedians to be very politically correct. But there's guys like Bill Burr who don't give a crap.
Right. Right. Yeah, but they're never going. You're never going to see Bill Burr on major television because they won't. Yeah, he'll be doing his clubs and HBO specials and stuff like that. Correct. Just like Jeffrey Ross and all those guys, they never really made it to that mainstream because of their material, you believe, right?
Yeah, but there's guys like Jerry Seinfeld that can do like 90 minutes of really clean material, and he talks about like laundry detergent and breakfast cereal.
Yeah. But I don't know if it's really dirty that's so bad. Maybe it's I don't know if it's really dirty comic. I think maybe it's just even the topics that you're talking about in your stories. You can't rip on too much on the opposite sex now, but trying to be disrespectful like Dice did for all those years. You can't. Can you get into the whole transgender thing? Can you get to Tampon Tim, with the tampons in the bathroom? What stuff can you hit on and what stuff can't you? But what I'm trying to say is, when you're going to see Bill Burr in concert, you know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You're talking about Sebastian. Sebastian keeps it clean, right?
I love Sebastian Maniscalco. He's one of my favorite guys. I watch all his specials, and he's shooting a new one right now. He's on tour again. I'm sure he's going to have a great special come out in 2025. He was just at the United Center, and I watched him so much, Tone, that I actually started doing a little bit of a Sebastian Maniscalco impersonation. Now, remember, it's probably going to hurt your ears because it's an Irish guy trying to do it.
Go ahead, give us a little Sebastian. Go ahead.
It's just a little tiny thing. Anybody here ever take an Uber? That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, he was from Arlington Heights. I used to see him come to Jilly's all the time on Rush Street when he was first starting out. And nobody ever heard of the guy. Next thing you know, boom, selling out Madison Square Garden, doing everything. Funny shit, my God. We got my good buddy Matt Hussein on. Matt is going to be co-hosting with us all hour of stuff. Let's talk about some stuff before Trump is in office. He did take over the House. He took the Senate and the House, beating the House Republicans 218 against the Democrats 209. So now President Trump holds the House and the Senate. Mark Rubio, they're going to put him in charge of Secretary of State. Tom Horman will be in charge of the border crisis. We'll see what happens with that.
Well, they just interviewed Trump again on 2020 last night. Did you see that? I don't know if you saw it.
No, I did not. I was with my mom.
They just had him on there at this. You know,
what did he say? What did Donald Trump say?
I thought the interview was going pretty well, and then every once in a while Trump will just say something from outer space, like what? Yeah. What did you do? What? So he's just like, I think the next 4 years are going to be fantastic. Unfortunately, we're going to have to take out the Lincoln bedroom. We're taking it out, and it's going to be renamed the Trump bedroom. It's going to be fantastic. I don't know.
So there you go, the Lincoln. Yeah. So, and like I said, it was a complete shock to the other side of the Democratic Party. I know it had to be. What was your take on the whole thing, Matt? Were you watching the election at all when it was going down?
I think I was just like the rest of the country. It was just unbelievable what happened after that first debate, and Biden just kind of had a stroke on live television. And everybody was just kind of like, what the hell is going on here? And then a couple of days later, everybody's calling for him to retire, resign, even his own people,
Yeah, it had to be difficult. But the problem that got me, and it probably got a lot of people in America, folks, that how long was he out? They kept saying he was perfectly fit to run the country. How long has he been out of it? And they finally seen it live on that debate. Who knows what would have happened if they never showed that debate? People never really would have known how out of it he actually was. You know what I mean? So it was kind of interesting with that. Kash Patel is going to be in charge of the CIA director. Even the guy that I listen to, Don Bongino, might be in charge of his security. Looks like he might get appointed in charge of that. Robert Kennedy in charge of medicine. I think there's a lot of stuff that he's going to try to do now. So we're going to have to see what happens with it, folks. We'll have to see what happens with that. A lot of people don't like him, but I know they did vote for him because they were just sick and tired of what things were going. So now, like they said, whatever it is, we're going to have to see, and that's all there is to it. Matt Cassane is watching us. What is our co-host today, folks? We got some stuff we are going to talk about, but before that, let's get to another quick commercial here, folks, or our sponsor, as we say in the business, Airtight Windows. If you're looking for windows and you want it done right, do it right with Airtight. For honesty, quality, dependability, do it right with Airtight. Servicing the Chicagoland for 35 years, do it right with Airtight. Call Louis Pipes at 708-788-5000 and tell him Tony O sent you. Get those windows and sidings cleaned up, repaired, because, it can save you money as we get into the winter. Speaking of actors and movies, Robert, what's the guy who played Freddy Krueger? What's his name? Robert Englund. Robert Englund's going to be stepping down. He's getting old. He says that the new Freddy Krueger should be Kevin Bacon. Do you believe? What do you think of that choice, man?
Well, I always thought that, probably the best guy to play Freddy Krueger would have been Jack Nicholson,
Oh, yeah.
Hey there, kids. Everybody better watch out. I'm the goddamn Freddy Krueger.
You gotta love Jack Nicholson, man. I think he's retired. No, he's not making any more movies.
That sounded a little bit. That was a little bit of Farley and Jack Nicholson going on.
And Jack Nicholson together, yeah. Dennis, how you doing from Lake Geneva? There's Patrice, former Chicago Honey Bear. Boyd, what's up, my brother? Yeah, you're right. Funny is funny. Jack Nicholson, I've always been a fan of his. What do you think his favorite best movie
was? Man, there's so many. I loved him in Batman with Michael Keaton.
I thought that too. I liked him with American. What is that? American. Oh no, what was the one where he
A Few Good Men?
No, you got the other one where he played the mob boss. It was based on
Hoffa?
No, Hoffa he was good at too, but he played the other one with it was based off of who's the guy from Whitey Bulger? He played a character
The Departed.
Departed, yes. I thought he was great at that. Or the one where he's got the problem with the stepping on lines and closing the cabinets and opening the doors with Helen Hunt.
Oh, I forgot that one. I forgot. I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
yeah, but that was a good one too. He's just funny.
as
Man.
good as it gets. As good as it gets.
As good as it gets. Yeah, yeah. Well, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Yeah, he was great at that. Ronnie B. Elvis is watching. Congratulations, Ronnie B. and Deborah. They won the let's see, most appreciated singing duo, a red carpet award in Germany. Congratulations to Ronnie B. and Deborah. Interesting stuff here for you hockey fans. NHL, Jeremy Roenick is going to be put into the Hall of Fame. Are you a hockey guy, Matt? Do you watch were you a Blackhawks fan?
I like to see any Chicago team do well, you know. My biggest thing with hockey that I ever had was a movie from the late 70s with Paul Newman called Slapshot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I thought that was what was the two brothers'
The
names?
Hansons.
I forgot. The Hanson brothers. Have they ever remade that movie?
They did make a sequel, which was really bad.
Really bad. See, what you know what that gets me, Matt? Why is sometimes the sequels are always so bad? I'm waiting for Will Ferrell to come out with Elf 2. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't think you can touch that. You don't want to screw that legacy up. You know what I mean?
I'm sure they made him an offer. I'm sure they probably wanted him to do a sequel to Elf because it was so successful.
Why is it that always most of the time, I don't know, 80% of the time the sequels are always bad? Why is that?
I don't know. I don't know why they're always so bad. Probably because they're just throwing some thing together and they just try to like get a quick cash grab. And like one of the worst films ever made was Caddyshack 2. I don't know if anybody out there ever saw that.
I never knew. I
actually saw it in the theater. Now, the only reason I went to go see it, by the way, is because Cheap Trick had a song in the soundtrack.
Okay, which makes sense.
They did a cover. They did a cover of Money. That's What I Want.
Oh yeah, right, for that particular movie. Yeah, that makes sense. But then there were some great sequels. Were you a Godfather 2 fan? Better than Godfather?
Yeah, I love Godfather 2. I loved Frank Pentangeli's Fredo, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. I liked Analyze This, Analyze That. I thought they were both pretty good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
With De Niro. And
first one was good. Second one was okay, but the first one was excellent.
Okay. Absolutely. Or the best sequel. What was the Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon?
Grumpy Old Men.
And then the second one, Look Who's Grumpy or something. That
Grumpy
was funny.
Old Man. I think it was Grumpy Old Man.
Yeah. I mean that was pretty.
That was
funny,
good.
With those two guys together. Yeah, absolutely. Mac is saying, let's go back. All these celebrities, movie stars, entertainers, said they were going to back in 2016, whatever, when Donald Trump became president the first time, they were all going to leave the country. And of course, they were all still here. In the last 4 years, there was 4 or 5 different big-time celebrities that said they were going to leave if Donald Trump won. Here is some of the quotes by the top 4. Bette Midler said she's going to drink a bottle of Drano. But the best one, and we're waiting because it was all over X, all over Twitter, because I know you're on Twitter and I'm on Twitter too. Robert Reiner, a great movie director, said that he's going to light himself on fire. I'm sure you heard that. And I don't think that's going to happen. But it really pisses me off that they say this stupid stuff.
Rob Reiner, a lot of people forget that Rob Reiner was an actor.
Yes, big people don't remember the great Meathead from All in the Family.
Meathead.
Yeah, that was a great show. You know what? You can't. You can never. They could never make them a TV show right now with All in the Family. Right now, in this day and age, could they?
They might be able to like get it up on CBS or not on CBS, and HBO. HBO.
Well, because they keep it, but they couldn't get it on prime time, and that's
No,
another thing I was
no.
going to say. Well, with the news channels now, for the basic 9 or 8 news channels, that were always owned by Democratic parties, like the 9 major stations, and always ripping on the Republican side and Trump and all that kind of stuff. What happens to these stations now? What happens to Jimmy Kimmel? Supposedly, his last show is January 20th. He's moving. He's leaving, supposedly. But what happened to these late night guys that all they did was rip Trump for 4 years? What are they going to do now?
I don't know. I mean, they're probably just going to keep going. It's just Trump. Trump is in the news. Whatever is in the news, these late night comedians and talk show hosts. I mean, it's sort of their job to do political and social satire.
Wait a minute. But the problem is, look, I understand that Carson, he was never really bad at that. He did a few of those things, but it almost looks like they were more angry the way they were going after him. It wasn't like just being a comic part of it. You know what I mean? It looked like they were a little bit more angry, a little bit more. It didn't seem to me, and I'm not much of a late night. I haven't really watched late night since Letterman and Carson. I didn't think any of these guys were actually any good, but it seemed like they were coming pretty hard on some of these things instead of just making a joke about it and laughing with it, like Saturday Night Live, like Saturday Night used to do.
Well, here's the deal. Here's the deal. I mean, you think back to Nixon. I mean, everybody made fun of Nixon, and who was the dude? The impersonator guy back in the day. He was the big guy. There's Rich Little.
Rich Little.
He did Nixon, but he also did Johnny Carson. So I mean, he just did people that were famous. Yeah. That's the thing, But I have a quick story to tell you, and this is a true story. Yeah. Now, when we were kids, we moved up to Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, right outside of Milwaukee for a few years, and they used to have the Vince Lombardi golf outing every summer at this golf course, right outside Milwaukee, and we got to go to it the summer of '77. And now, if you think about it, Gerald Ford had just lost to Jimmy Carter, and so he actually was at this golf outing. He made an appearance. Gerald Ford was at this golf outing, and Fred McMurray was there, and Telly Savalas' brother. I forgot the guy's name. He was sort of a heavyset guy. He was at
George Strauss.
He was there.
Yes.
And it was just like, and all these Green Bay Packers and Bart Starr and all these guys. Now, here's the story for you. Yeah. Gerald Ford goes to tee off. I don't know if it's the first hole or the 9th hole or whatever. Tees off, ball flies into the fairway, goes and hits a guy right in the head. Okay? Guy goes down, gets rushed to the ambulance. Here's what his quote was. I didn't even vote for Ford. But here's the funny story about it. My dad brought us up. My dad was at that golf outing, and he was standing right behind Ford. So there was this big, giant picture, Gerald Ford, on the Milwaukee Journal the next day, the cover of the Milwaukee Journal newspaper. And you can see my dad in the background. Now, all I'm doing is telling you the stories because, I mean, they were always making fun of Gerald Ford. I mean, it's not it's just, the guy just did. Chevy Chase would come on SNL, the first season of SNL, and he would fall all the time and pretending that he was Gerald Ford.
Yeah, right. And I mean,
it's been happening. It's been happening forever.
Yeah, absolutely true. And so I don't know, but this late night scene has changed a little bit. Upcoming movies, anything you're looking forward to see, Matt? What do you think about this? I was never a Wicked fan, it's supposed to be big. The new movie Wicked now, it's coming out. Were you ever into that kind of stuff?
I watched bits and pieces of it. My wife loved that movie. She used to watch it all the time, Maria. Okay. And so I'll probably watch it when it comes on cable. I'm one of the few people left that actually still have cable TV.
I do too, so don't feel so bad. Let me ask you also, any upcoming movies you're looking forward to see, or anything that you hear anything that's coming out that's supposed to be pretty good? How about this new Tom Hanks one? It looks like it's a timepiece.
I saw some clips for it, but I also saw a lot of negative reviews for it. So unfortunately,
Okay.
like
All
I said,
right.
I'll probably watch it when it comes out on TV. And maybe it's not as bad as everyone says. I'll give it a chance.
You give it a chance at least. Susie Steele, how you doing, Susie? I hope you had a nice birthday. Double T, Tony Toto, Richard Hamlin's in the house. I hope everybody there. There's Danny. Danny, thank you for your comment. Danny says, I put a comment when Jimmy Kimball made his speech crying after Trump won the election. The guy is a puss. There you go. I agree with you, Danny. Thank you for your comments. We appreciate your good Mark Sheely is watching, for, of course, Kia bass player for the Dream Police, and he's does his own show out there with Amy Steffen. Hey, my good buddy Mark Sheely in the house. Ken Radar, Cromartie, Kim Peterson, LeFew from In Session. There's Dennis from Lake Geneva, buddy. And you guys, we got the great Matt Cassane, funny man, Matt Cassane coming out. Matt, what do you think? Let's get to some other stuff. Chicago Bears fans. Are you a Bears fan?
Yeah, I try to. It's so sad, man. It's just it's depressing, buddy.
Well, here's a couple things here. Of course, they fired the offensive coach, Sean Wilson, and Thomas Brown or whatever is going to take over in the meantime. Also, veteran players on the team right now do not believe that Caleb Williams should start the rest of the season. They're thinking they should bring in that Badgett or Dadget guy.
The backup.
Second hand deal. The backup. That's not that great when your main players, your veteran players, say that maybe you should sit it out. Let's try. They got nothing to lose by trying the new guy, the backup. It can't hurt. Try him in for a couple of things and see what happens. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's pretty sad. They're playing Green Bay. They're going to be in Soldiers Field. Green Bay could destroy them. It's going to be a shellacking. Just my opinion. It's pretty sad. It really is. Juan Soto, if you're a big Yankees fan, of course, he was a big time with the Yankees in the World Series. He's going to sign, looks like he's going to sign a deal with the Yankees for 14 years, $658 million. $658 million for a 14-year contract with the New York Yankees. It should be interesting also. If you're into jazz music, jazz drummer Roy Haynes has passed away at the age of 99 years old. And in Japan, I never knew this. I love finding stuff about other parts of the country, other world that we don't do here in the United States of America. Here's something very simple. In Japan, if you're on a train and it runs late, they give you something called a delay certificate, which you can show your boss, show your school, show your wife or husband why you're late, and it comes up. Now, why don't we do that in the United States of America? Right?
That's good.
I'm sorry, it's a great idea, but it only happens other places in this country. It's crazy. Ocean's Pit, little show about big things. We're going to see what else we got here. Okay, let's go to Newsmax. This is called Headlines, folks. A FEMA worker. Now, this was disgusting. We know, Matt, during elections, there's one side that says this, one side. That's just part of the whole procedure. They talk bad about each side. They try to do whatever. But look at this. A FEMA worker has been fired after she directed workers helping hurricane survivors not to go to homes with yard signs supporting Donald Trump. DeSantis said he has directed the Florida Division of Emergency Management to begin an investigation into this matter. So they were only sending FEMA helpers to people who didn't have a Trump sign during that hurricane. Is that insane?
Yeah, that's
what I mean about this election.
That's upsetting, yeah.
It's upsetting, very upsetting. What about The View? Finally, looks like The View might get canceled. According to the article, billionaire Vincent Marquez, the new owner of ABC, wants to cancel The View for the following reasons. Marquez wants ABC to focus on pure entertainment and to be, which might not allege with The View's format. I don't know. Have you ever watched that show? Do you care for that show, man?
I watch it, if they have somebody on there that I really like as a guest, like when Sebastian's on there, I'll watch it.
Yeah. I understand. When they have, that makes a lot of sense. I like that. Let's get some others. Were you a big Nintendo guy? Are you a game guy?
You know what, man? I still think the greatest video game of all time was the first one, Pong.
You like that Pong? Yeah.
Beep, beep,
Remember?
beep.
Remember? Hey, do you remember? Remember when it was on Bozo
Yeah,
or Ray Rayner? Remember
yeah.
you used to say to the TV, "Pow, pow, pow." Remember? Now we're showing our age. Now we're showing our age. But Nintendo 64 is coming back. Back in for 4K early 2025. Excuse me. Nintendo 64. I mean, a lot of people stream. They spend a lot of time playing games. Let's see what's going on with Target. Target price match starting November 7th, which is already passed. If you purchase an item from Target, the price goes lower on or before December 24th. You can request a price match. Remember the red? They used to do that all the time. What was the red tag or the blue tag? Remember
Blue light
Kmart, the blue
special.
tag
Blue light
special?
special.
Blue light
Yeah.
special. That's it. So,
You know,
yeah,
I was
I
just thinking
love
when you
some
were
of
when
this
you were
stuff.
talking about games, I actually started. Have you tried pickleball? I started playing pickleball.
No, I have not. I have not tried pickleball. I'm not really interested. I know my kids are playing it, and I guess the Puerto Rico won the pickleball tournament. I guess the big, very first one. Puerto Rico.
See,
Is
no,
it fun?
I belong to a gym, and I've been watching these people play pickleball now for like 2 or 3 years. You know, they play it every morning. I just go over there, walk around the track. You know, and it looks like fun. It looks like
Yeah.
they're having a good time, and it looks like a nice, relaxed game. So I signed up for some pickleball lessons. And the lady teaching them, she's just like, okay, so here's what we're gonna do. You know, when somebody hits the ball to you and it goes way up in the air, like it's a lob, okay? So it's a lob. So what you want to do is you want to get ready for it, and then when it comes down to you, you take your paddle and you smash it as hard as you can into that other person's face. And I'm like, I thought this was just like ping pong, or this is like badminton. You want us to like, knock somebody's like break somebody's nose with this ball. I'm like, I don't know if I thought what is this? And she's like, no,
So
they get really intense. You got to get in there and you got to smash the ball.
let me ask you: is it like tennis and badminton? Is that what that is?
It's a little bit of ping pong. It's a little bit of tennis. It's a little bit of racquetball. It's a little bit of badminton. It's all these things combined. And you know what? I thought like that'd be like so easy to catch on, but there's a lot of rules. There's a lot of restrictions. Like every time you serve, if you're the guy serving the ball, right, you got to call out the score. Okay. So you have to go, okay. So the
Oh,
score right now is 1-1-3. So the first one means I'm the first player on the second team. And then the second one means we got 1 point. And then 3 means the other team's got 3. So you got to say 1-1-3. And if you don't yell out the score, then it doesn't count.
well, let me ask you something. Where is the pickle? I mean, is there a pickle involved anywhere? I mean, why is it called
That's
pickleball?
the thing. There's no pickles. I thought like for sure somebody would have shown up with a jar of Vlasic or something, like a big jar of like kosher dill pickles. After the game, everybody gets a pickle. No pickles.
It's a pickle or something. I don't know. Yeah, it would have been. I'm surprised they haven't done that on a commercial yet, Matt. That's pretty funny. I like that. So, we got some comments from people here. Danny's saying the poor quarterback is being destroyed by his own offense. It doesn't matter what quarterback is in there; the offense will make the quarterback look bad. Danny, you're absolutely right. Deb, how you doing? Dennis, how you doing? Welcome. Oh yeah, there you go. Ken Cromartie says, "Welcome, Kmart shoppers." Remember they used to make that. I used to love that when they used to make that noise. Yeah. Oh, and Dennis, don't go to Target anymore after featuring transgender clothing at the front door. Okay. Well, it is what it is, I guess. I didn't see that in Target, but I wasn't looking. How do you know which
You
clothes
know
are
what
transgender and
you
which
know what I
isn't?
miss most about Kmart? You know what I miss most?
What's that?
You
What's
could
that?
go into Kmart, okay? Let's say you're
Yeah.
living on a budget, okay? You know what? When I was a kid,
Okay.
I wasn't making a lot of money. I had my first apartment, my first car. I was barely getting by.
Okay.
You could go in the Kmart and you could buy a big giant package of Fruit of the Loom underwear. You get like 10 Fruit of the Loom underpants for like $5. Big
Okay.
giant bag of them,
Now, but
you
that
know?
big, yeah, and but not anymore. You can't get that price
No,
anymore.
no, you can't. No. It's expensive now.
No, no.
You know who's got good undershirts? You know who's got good
Okay.
plain white undershirts? Okay, their
The
own
flea,
brand. Their own brand
the,
is Walmart. They have this brand called George. I
Okay.
bought a pack. I got 6 undershirts from them.
Huh?
Trust me, you're going to want to try much better than Hanes.
Much better than
Better than
Hanes. Well,
Hanes.
there you Matt Cassane says go to Kmart
No,
and find
Walmart.
it.
Walmart.
I
Walmart.
like that. Walmart. Go to Walmart. Go to Walmart. Very, very good. We got some up the coming shows coming up. Besides the Tivoli Theater tonight with Rick Lindy and the Wild Ones and Ocean's
I did a show.
Rat
I did a
Ocean's
show
Rat
with
Pack.
Rick. You
Oh,
know,
Rick's a
like
great guy.
he was in a band called Big Guitars of Memphis, right?
Yeah, with
Yeah.
John Ivan. Absolutely.
So here's the deal. This is like
yeah.
1996. I got booked to do the Oneida
Yeah.
Casino up in Green Bay comedy show.
Okay.
Okay, so we're up there, and
right.
then we're doing our comedy show, and behind us there's this big giant band. They got all their stuff set up, they're ready to go, and we're playing like the lounge, you know. And they were like, okay, so
sure.
after you're done with your comedy show, you got to introduce us. I'm like, cool. So I had no idea. Like almost 30 years later, I ran into Rick earlier this year. Okay, 1996, 2024. I was like, hey man, I did a show with you in 1996 when you were in Big Guitars in Memphis.
See that? It's a small world, right? We just go. Us musicians and entertainers never die. We just go from bar to bar. That's it, right? Can't wait to see you again, Matt. Oh, Ken Camardi says, can't wait to see you again, Matt. Come out and soon. All right, your friend
Thank
Ken
you.
saying hi. Danny wants to know, are there any V-neck T-shirts at Walmart? V-neck.
I don't know. I like the regular ones, like the regular undershirts. V-necks are good, and but I just like the regular ones, with the crew neck.
The crew neck. All right, there you go. See, you learn something new every day here, folks. Other shows coming up next Sunday will be at St. Jude's Benefit. Nick Sahajas and Phyllis Sahajas doing another one at the display at the Arcata Theater, folks, in St. Charles. It's going to be huge because I'm going to tell you why. I mean, huge. The bands are going to be Ocean's Rat Pack, of course, with the band, with Mikey D, Tony Toto, and Danny Ramundi backing us up. But there's also Nick Sahajas and the Piano Man and his 9-piece band. Also American English with their tribute to the Beatles. Also Heart to Heartbreaker with their tribute to Heart and Pat Benatar. All of us going to happen there. That's going to be next Sunday, the 24th of November at the Arcata Theater, oshows.com. We're going to be at Norton's on the 23rd in Highland Park. On the 20th.
Does Ron still have the raviolis? Does he still have the raviolis at the Arcata? That's like the best food ever.
Yeah, he makes some great food there. Especially on Sundays, he does the ravioli thing and the pasta thing, and it's fantastic on Sinatra.
My wife, God bless her, rest in peace, Maria. She was 100% Calabrese. She was from Italy. She was actually born in Italy, and 1 year she hurt her leg really bad. And she used to cook all the time, so she'd stand at the stove for hours. So I had to go in the kitchen. Now remember, Irish guy trying to cook Italian food. She would shout out all the stuff. Okay, put the olive oil in. Now the crushed garlic. Now the crushed red peppers. All that stuff. Put it all in there together. And then she taught me how to make the gravy sauce. Put the tomatoes in, just like The Godfather. So I'm like, I got the sauce all made. I'm like, oh, Maroni, you gotta try it. And I think I'm Italian now. Oh, Maroni, honey, you gotta try it. She's like, wait a minute. What did you just say? I was just like, Maroni. She goes, no, it's Marone. I was just like, oh, okay, sorry about it. She's like, yeah, Matt, don't try to talk Italian. It hurts my ears. Don't say that.
Right. See that? So another fellow Irish man is watching right now, our good friend Marty Malarkey. You can't get more Irish than Mr. Malarkey, who's the big concierge over there at McCormick Place, where Marty will tell you where to go, where to eat, where to shop. Our good friend Marty Malarkey is watching.
Hey,
Marty. Absolutely. Guys, let's get to you got that right, Danny. Thank you. Yeah, talk to Buddy on that one. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll be in Little Pops in Lisle. If you ever want New York style food, New York pizza, New York food in general, you don't have to go to New York. You can go to Little Pops in Lisle. It's called Little Pops New York Pizzeria. It's a beautiful place. We'll be there on the 20th. Great food. Venuti's on the 21st. New Year's Eve will be at Moretti's in Elgin with Ocean's Rat Pack and the Tony Ocean Show, folks. And Ocean's Rat Pack will be opening for Candace Owens Are you ready for this? This is going to be huge. December 7th, Shop for a Cop in Champaign, Illinois. It's our 4th year doing it for Shop at a Cop. This time will be Candace Owens on the 7th. And we'll be back at the Geneva Stage Theater in Lake Geneva on December 1st with Ocean's Rat Pack. A lot of stuff to still talk about. We got about another 9-10 minutes here. Matt, Rick Nielsen, Cheap Trick, Hard Rock Casino in Rockford. Yeah. He's a small part owner, though, right? Have you been there
have
yet?
Not, but you know what, man? I got to get out there and see that giant 60-foot checkerboard guitar out in front of the casino, man.
I think that's going to be really, really cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited. And just because Rick's involved, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Matt, who was your first athlete that caught your attention as a kid? Who was the first ball player or football player? Anybody go, man, this guy.
Well, I mean, there's the obvious ones. We're going back to like 73, 74. Joe Namath was big, man. He was a movie star too. He made a movie called CC Rider. But the first really big athlete that I saw was Dave Kingman for the Chicago Cubs. And
the strikeout.
And I saw him hit a home run.
Yeah, the strikeout king. Whether he hit a home run or strike out, that's all Dave Kingman did. Yeah, I mean, very interesting. Let's see. God, if I don't remember, I used to collect baseball cards back then as a kid, and I remember having all these great players and stuff, but I still, I never got to see Mickey Mantle, but my God, what a ball player. What a ball player, and just amazing growing up. How about this one, Matt? Name a movie with great music. Your favorite movie with a great soundtrack.
Well, I mean, God, that's tough. I mean, going back, the first movie that I ever saw that I fell in love with the music was A Hard Day's Night with the Beatles.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Every song was choreographed. The first song they did on the train, I should have known better. They're playing in that tiny little train car, and Lennon's playing the harmonica, and the girls are trying to get him. Yeah. It's just like so cool. I still watch it to this day, and it still gives me goosebumps. It really does.
Me too, and especially if you watch and you hear some of the stories of that movie. One of the girls that we're watching end up being George Harrison's wife, Patty Boyd, was one of the girls in. So it's pretty cool how you get that stories. Ocean's Pit Little Show about big things. Armando Supermarkets, 925 Liberty Street in Elgin, Illinois. Buy local, shop local. And Crash Champions Collision Auto Repair. For all your collision auto repair needs, go to crashchampions.com. My good friend Mike and Gigi. Matt Cassane is here. Oh, Matt, you're going to love this. I can't believe this, but here it is. If you have a swimming pool, you have people over the house, you have family over the house, you got to wonder how many people are actually peeing in that pool. Now, wait a minute. There was the big thing that there will be blue come up around your trunks if that happens, that thing. But I actually Googled it for the show today, Matt. I Googled it. Here it is. It's true. I Googled it. Let's see exactly what it says here. 9 to 40% of adults admit urinating in a swimming pool at least once, meaning a significant portion of people worldwide who have access to pool likely pee in it. Though the exact number is difficult to qualify due to the sensitive nature of the topic. So studies have shown between 19 and 40% people admit peeing in their pool. And then, of course, it says there's no accurate count because it's impossible to know the exact number of people who want to admit doing it. But you have to wonder, you see people in water sometimes, and you've gotten up 2 or 3 times, and these people have been drinking, and you're going saying that where is that going?
You gotta put up the old sign. I don't swim in your toilet, so don't pee in my pool.
I like that one. That's going to happen. I like that. Bill Hall is watching. I don't think Billy's ever watched this show. So Bill is watching. Bill, of course, used to be with the Dream Police, and Bill and the Vintage Saints. Great band. He's got a new CD out. I just love Billy Hall. He's got great singer, great songwriter. with Anthony Melchiotti. So it's nice to see Bill, Mark Shealy, and Marty Malarkey, all of the old crew watching here. And of course, Matt Kassane. All right, Matt, another one too. How many people actually shower a day? Does everybody shower every day? 63. This is a poll of 1,000 people. 63% of men shower a day. 53% of women admit showering at least once a day. So supposedly men shower more than women do. Did not know that.
That's interesting.
But that's some interesting stuff to know, right? Some useless information to know here. Interesting stuff. Absolutely. All right. We got a couple. Let's get a couple more sponsors on the way, folks, before we end it. We got about 4 or 5 minutes left, but we got to thank, of course, these other sponsors who always are great here with Oceans Pit. Let's think about Deutsch Power Center, servicing the construction and diesel industry in Chicago in the last 100 years. That's Deutsch Power Center. Let's not forget also, everybody, very important, we got a brand new one. But before the new one, let's talk about Jack Vena Landscaping. They offer monthly maintenance programs, bush trimming, spring and fall cleanup, bed mulching, fertilizing, weed control. They offer plant design, service, installation, fall gutter cleanup. They've been servicing the North Shore for 44 years. Call Tommy at 847-432-5266. And our brand new sponsor, brand new, Fast Food Eating Healthy, Guzman and Gomez. That's right, folks. Fast food made healthy, clean, and enjoyable. Check them out. So far, they have locations in Schaumburg, Crystal Lake, Buffalo Grove, and Naperville. Download the GYG app and sign up and get a free burrito. Matt, you're going to love this. It's like Chipotle, but it's better for you. Chipotle puts a lot of shit in their stuff. This is fantastic. Come out and try burritos, tacos, bowls, salads. They even have a burrito replacing the rice for French fries. Fundraising, catering, give them a call and call our son Joe, who's now the regional marketing manager, 224-636-3646. That's Guzman and Gomez. Sign up for the app and get one free burrito. Guys, you got to try the burrito. I'm telling you, you will definitely go back and try the other stuff that they have at that store. I
gotta say hi to my friend Judy, who's watching. And then I got to say hi to my daughter, Eugenia.
And Eugenia, how is she doing? How old is she?
She is going to be 15 on Christmas Eve, and she's a freshman in high school now. She just finished up cheerleading, and she'll be in winter track.
You got to love that, Matt. What do you got coming up? Anything coming up that people can come and see you? When? Where?
I'm doing a show out in Iowa this weekend. I'm not sure where. It's this little tiny town right on the Illinois border, and it's sold out. So I unfortunately can't get anybody in. But other than that, yeah, that's about it, man. I don't get any. I mean, a lot of private parties coming up. I got a ton of private parties.
And let me ask you something real fast, since we got a minute left. The comedy clubs, are they dying out, man?
You know what? You would think that they were, but like every couple of years, there's a brand new comedy club. They just opened up a brand new one in Oak Park, and there's still Zanies and the Improv, and in Schaumburg. So they're still out there. Yeah, they're still doing good.
They're still out. You got to love that too. And if they want to book Matt Kassane, Matt, how do they get a hold of you, buddy?
Just give me a call, 708-606-4187. And I'm available. I mean, if anybody needs a comedian for a party or an event or a trade show, I'm ready. I'm there. Just give me a call.
And you know what? He does a lot of different characters, folks. He does a lot of different, besides Chris Farley, Trump, he does a lot of different stuff. He also does DJ work. Matt, you know what? Before you go, let's celebrate some birthdays on Wednesday, the 13th of November. Esther Rowley, remember who she is?
Yes.
Celebrating a birthday.
She was in Good Times.
She was Wheezy. Wasn't she? No, she was in Good Times. Good Times, right. She was not in the Jeffersons. You're right. She was in Good Times. Minnie Riperton.
Her daughter, Minnie Riperton's daughter, is Maya Rudolph from Saturday Night Live.
There you go. See, something new. Adam Sandler turns 57 years old today. Let's see. You got to love that. Bonnie Raitt turns 75 years old. Gordon Ramsay, 58 years old. Chris Jericho, for you wrestling fans, 53 years old. The Hulk, Lou Ferrigno, turned 72 years old. Brian Eno turned 76 years old. 76. Lady Gaga, 35 years old. Tommy Thayer, one of the guitar players from Kiss, celebrating a birthday. Phil Collins, 73 years old. Weird Al Yankovic turned 62 years old. Roy Rogers, the singing cowboy, would have been celebrating a birthday today. Another Chicago guy, our good buddy John Trencali, celebrating a birthday. Johnny. Roy Schreider, folks, I think he was in the movie Jaws. Love him as an actor, great actor. Halle Berry, 58. Chrissy Alley, celebrating a birthday. And funny man and a great actor, serious actor, John Goodman, turned 72 years old. Very, very cool. Of course, another birthday goes out to my good friend Felix Greco. Of course, his dad passed away. It's sad. Also, Susan Marks, if you're watching, Susan, happy birthday, my friend. Well, hopefully, you said we'll see you Friday at Chicago Prime. Now, tomorrow, Laura Ocean will be with us. Friday, I'm doing no show on Friday, and it's reason why. My good friend, and you might remember the guy that used to work with me all the time, little Jimmy Vegas. Okay, now we still kept in touch. We're not as close as we used to be, but his mother just passed away. He called me a couple days ago and just asked, "Hey, Tony, we'd be honored to be the pallbearer."
Oh.
So we're driving out to South Bend on Friday morning and be the pallbearer because he lost his mom. So that's sad when that shit happens. You know what I mean? All right, buddy. Well, listen, we got thank you, Matt, for being on the show, buddy. I know you're a busy guy doing what you're doing. I do appreciate that, coming out and making people laugh as much as you do. Also, when you came out and did President Trump for my mom,
I just wanted, I wanted to say thank you for letting me be part of the show at Bellagio last weekend. And a lot of people came up after the show and said a lot of nice things. I wanted to say thank you for that.
Well, yeah, you know what? And, you never know, like you said, what you're going to get. And I did say before I introduced you, I said, my mother loves me as a man, but there's one other man she loves just as much, if not more than me. And that's now Donald Trump. And of course, and I didn't know what the audience was going to say, but when you came out and you did your little sting and you go, how many people voted for me? The whole place went ballistic. They all went ballistic. It was actually pretty nice. Cool. So it was fun. My mother was happy. Matt Kassane, thank you so much, brother. But before you go, thank our good friends from Ace Hardware. Ace is the place to buy local, shop local, Norwich, Just Plains, Evergreen Park, Warrenville, Mesa, Arizona. Download the Ace Rewards app. Each way to keep track of your points, coupons, and special offers. Ace is the place. Helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. Guys, last chance. Go to Tivoli Theater tonight in Downers Grove. Ocean's Rat Pack and Rick Lindy and the Wild Ones, or the Jukebox
and
Legends.
My friend Ed Kerfin from WJOL. He's gonna be part of that, right? Isn't he gonna?
That's right. He is. That's right. There you go, Matt. You want to stop by, Matt? I'll put you on the list if you're interested. You're not far from there. Anyway, guys, but that's tonight. Doors open at 6. Show starts at 7 with Ocean's Rat Pack. So coming out to I want to thank Tim Seaton, the promoter, putting that all together. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. Tomorrow, Are We Live in Burr Ridge with Jerry Jams. Friday, Chicago Prime Steakhouse with Daryl Armenstad. Saturday, Daryl will be with us tonight too, behind with the Rat Pack. And then let's not forget Ron Onesti's Club Arcada Speakeasy with the main event band on Saturday. And Tavern on the Point in this Sunday, Edison Park, 5 o'clock. Frankie Setta opening the show, and then we'll kick it off the end of the night. Guys, buy local, shop local, support local establishments, support live entertainment, be kind to one another. Life is short. And Ringo Starr says, peace and love. Peace and love, everybody. God bless you. Matt Kassane, thank you, my friend. Nick Sahajas, take us out.
Time to go, it's the end of the show. See you later from Tony.
Bye-bye, everybody. God bless you. Have a great day. Be back tomorrow, Thursday, with Laura Ocean. Again, tonight, Tivoli Theater, 6 o'clock, doors open, 7 o'clock, Downers Grove. Go to classiccinema/legends.com to see Ocean's Rat Pack and Rick Lindy and the Jukebox Legends.